Bill Nye, the science guy, got into a bit of controversy when he was giving a speech when he said that the moon merely reflects the light of the sun. It doesn't shine on its own. It merely reflects the light of the sun. Now, that in and of itself is a fairly well-known um, datum of basic science. But the controversy comes in uh, because the reason why he was raising this observation, or what he was doing in raising this observation, was pointing out uh, what he thinks is a contradiction, apparently, between the Bible and science. In Genesis chapter 1, we read that God made two great lights, one light being the sun, S-U-N, and the other light being the moon. Well, the problem here is that the term light or lights uh, was, uh, because it's in the Old Testament, it was Hebrew. The Old Testament was not written in English. So we have to be careful how terms are translated, and the translations into English are not always 100% 100% one-to-one onto. It's not always something that is straightforward. Uh, there's things lost in translation. Sometimes less than the best words are chosen in the process of translating into English. So looking it up in the lexicon, this is Strong's Hebrew lexicon. The term lights is number 3974, and here is the definition. The entry for the term lights in Strong's Hebrew lexicon. From number 215, properly a luminous body or luminary, that is abstractly light as an element, figuratively brightness, that is cheerfulness, specifically a chandelier, bright or light. Um, so words in Hebrew, as in English, don't always have. Uh, there's a semantic range, a different range, different meanings that the same word can take. It could be a luminous body, it could be bright, or it could be light. So light is only one of at least three different ways of translating that term for the moon and also for the sun. Um, if it is a luminous body, or if it is bright, that would simply, well, that could simply be that the moon is reflecting light, not a source on its own. So we see that when we go back to the Hebrew, there is not a problem there as he thinks. Now it says here in the definition that the term lights, um, in Hebrew it's meorah. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But anyways, when that word is defined, it says that the word is derived from number 215. Well, number 215, if we look that up, that is or a primitive root to be, to cause, to make luminous, literally and metaphorically. Break of day, glorious, kindle, enlighten, set on fire, shine. Well, certainly the moon shines. It's a luminous body. It's enlightened by the sun. So the hermeneutical fallacy here is to go with the obvious sense of the English. But the Bible, again, was not written in English. It was written in Hebrew in the Old Testament, Greek in the New, and we need to look at it in the original language before we interpret it. Now, Bill Nye, as a scientist and not as a biblical scholar, a religious scholar, a linguist. Of course, he may not be aware of that kind of resource, a lexicon. Um, he cannot be expected to know all things. People specialize in their areas. His area being science. So um, it's excusable that he may make that mistake, but we do have to admit at the same time that it was a mistake on his part. So if he is rejecting the Bible, and this was a speech at a skeptics society, um, I believe, if his reason for skepticism is because of scientific inaccuracy of the Bible, it's really not the scientific inaccuracy that's the problem, but his faulty interpretation of the Bible. Now, if I, as a non-scientist, were to look at the heavens and I see the sun rising in the east, setting in the west, and I say, well, the surface appearance is that the sun is going around the earth. The earth is at the center of the solar system, it appears, and the earth is at the center of the solar system, apparently, and the sun is going around the earth. Well, that would be a faulty interpretation on my part of the observation of the observation of the heavens. So that is something that is very easily contradicted by basic science, just as Bill Nye's but biblical interpretation is easily contradicted by basic biblical studies. So the point I'm trying to make here is that we don't want to set up a double standard where people that know about science can say things that are incorrect against religion, but and they get a get out of jail free card for that. But the people that are not scientists that believe the scriptures, um, people can make mistakes interpreting the natural world. They can make mistakes interpreting the Word of God. But just as Bill Nye would not let me get away with such a basic blunder as saying that the Earth is at the center of the solar system, I cannot let him get away with such a basic blunder as saying that the moon is falsely said in the Bible to be the source of its own light. So no double standards. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I just wanted to point out that a brief Bible blunder, if you will, on Bill Nye's part. Thanks for watching. Please comment below, and shalom out.